What is it about great live Aussie music that we all love? Is it about being out on a Saturday night with your mates? Is it about a song, a lyric, or a beat that you love? Whatever it is, on this show, The Scene, we celebrate it each and every week. We celebrate the best from right here in WA and all around the country. And as we get into season 7 of the show, we do it with Foxtel on channel 173 and on demand on YouTube as well. This show is about great Australian music, and it's great to have our mates at Atomic Beer on board for the brand new season as well. I reckon we get right into it. This is season 7. My name is Blake Williams, and this is The Scene. Hello and welcome to a brand new season of The Scene. This is season 7 right around the country on Foxtel on channel 173. We're going to get right into it as well. And of course, you can find us on YouTube. Just search The Scene Music TV. We're going to get right into it with a band that actually played the halftime show, let's call it, at the new Dockers game last week, where they lost by a couple of thousand points. Is that right, band? Okay, yes. The game was terrible. The band were amazing. It is Trent-Jean. Let's get right into it with Discover on The Scene.
Hello, Australia. We're Trent-Jean. We're going to take you to the 9th dimension this evening. All right? Hope you feel good, yeah? I got here. You feel good? Tick, tick, woo!
Welcome back to the scene right around Australia here on Foxtel on channel 173 and on YouTube on demand as well. That was Trent-Jean with Discover. Mate, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Blake.
My absolute pleasure.
Yes.
You were actually part of this show when it used to be on Mix 94.5 as well, which was years ago now.
Definitely.
And you had a very, very different sound back then as
Oh,
well.
100%.
You've changed quite a lot over the past couple of years. We'll talk about the change of sound. We'll talk about that song as well. But let's go back all the way to the beginning for a moment. When did you first get into music?
It was always in me.
Yeah?
Yeah. When I was about 6 years old, my family went to Mauritius. That's where my father's from. And they lost me one night. They wondering, where was Trent? And they found me with the Sega band of the restaurant.
Okay.
And I was playing the Ravan. It's a Mauritian drum. Yes.
And that was the first
gig
you ever played?
That was the first show, yeah.
And so what? So you heard that and you went, okay, where did it go from there?
Pretty
did you
much.
Study at school? Did you piano lessons or guitar lessons or anything?
Yeah, well, I started playing guitar when I was 10. You know, inspired half by Bart Simpson and the Rockstar episode where he ODs a bit, and yeah, funnily enough. And and the local artist was now in Melbourne named James Teague, and he showed me a few chords, and yeah, and then I played through high school. I did one gig. I remember my first gig was in year 9, and I stuffed up one note. And I'm a perfectionist, right? You know, I've just got high standards, and I thought at the time that one note was the end of my music career. So I listened back, and I thought that one note of the guitar solo, it's time to call it a day.
Yeah.
I got invested in sport. I changed school. The school that I was at, they didn't have any musicians to play in the music program.
Yeah.
And the teacher said, does anyone play an instrument? I said, I play a bit of guitar. The love started again.
Yeah, right.
And
what kind of artists were you into? Was it songwriters? Was it bands?
When I was a teenager, I was a Bullet for My Valentine, Bring Me the Horizon. I'd have to say, yeah, Metallica. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A bit of a range, but all on the kind of rock side of things,
Yeah,
right?
but then I delved into John Mayer.
Yep.
And Jimi Hendrix and
these days, when you sit down to write, because the band and what you put together is a collection of a kind of bunch of different genres. You know, you've got 80s synth stuff in there, you've got kind of some classic rock in there as well. When you sit down to write this on the guitar, which is just one instrument, are you hearing all the little bits and pieces in there, or do you work it out in the studio? How do you put it together?
Well, yeah, it all comes at once. You know, my band does give their 2 cents, and sometimes the 2 cents is a diamond's worth. You know, this EP that we're going to be releasing, Death is for l'Illusion, is the title of the EP.
Yeah.
It's going to come out next year. It was a studio baby. Really, Discover was not meant to be on the record.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that track, so Discover. The video clip for this is really interesting. You've got some stop motion going on in there. You can see the video clip on your screen. We'll pop it into the corner. But tell me about the idea behind this and why stop motion.
Well, I'm heavily influenced by Tim Burton, but the key to this that ignited it all was via my wonderful friend and music mentor, Carol Plum, which is here right now in the studio audience. So,
oh, really?
Everybody? Yes. 100%.
Music mentor how?
High school music teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right down the front row.
100%.
How brilliant is that? What school was that?
That was Ashdale Secondary College.
Yeah.
She always, you know, believed in me, supported me, introduced me to the wonderful music of Prince. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so what's the connection with that and stop motion?
Okay, so like I said, the big fan of Tim Burton and Miss Plum, which I call, you know, Carol Plum.
We all call her Miss Plum.
Her stepson, Niall Plum, is a stop animation expert.
Right.
And she showed me his work, and I said that would be incredible. You know, it would be incredible to collaborate with him.
Yeah, yeah.
And did just so.
And it looks awesome. I like the idea. I like the concept. So you've obviously got a brand new single, which you're going to, which was that one, but you're going to play another one in just a moment as well. But I want to say, what's the end game? Where do you see all of this going? Where, if you got to a point and went, you know what? I think I'm here. This is kind of where I wanted to be. What would that look like?
Touring arenas. Yeah, it would be a stadium act. Definitely. Supporting Coldplay would be a goal. You know, Lenny Kravitz, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
That's it. We
So-
want to entertain the masses. We want to make 1 million smiles.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
And $1 million along the way.
Maybe if that
Hey,
comes along,
why
that's
not?
it. You know, feed the spirit and the rest follows.
So,
Yeah.
so the plan really is to, to do these songs, to tour this stuff when we can, when we're not
Yeah.
in COVID land, and push it as far and wide as it possibly can go.
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe anything is possible. And, we never know when our last breath is going to be, and I want to know that hope was in me.
Okay.
When that
Well,
time
if people want to
comes,
find you, where do they find you online?
Trent-Jean.com,
Mm-hmm.
Just look up Trent-Jean, Trntjean.
All the details will
find me
be
there.
on screen, and you'll also find them on the Scene Music TV as well. Run us through the next song, Before I Die.
Before I Die.
What's the idea behind this one?
Okay, well, this is quite a loose term, but I was kidnapped by a woman after a gig.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's see where this goes. Kidnapped. Firstly, kidnapped how?
Yes. Anyway, I was meant to be getting a lift home, and that lift took me back to a boyfriend's house.
Once you lock the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, well, I guess, let's just say, let's leave it up to the imagination. I was kidnapped by a woman.
Okay.
And I had to make my way out, and I did just so.
I need way more detail on this. So Before I Die, though, what was the idea?
Better must be leaving before I die. Better must be leaving before her boyfriend, who's an avid knife collector, kills me.
Fair enough.
That's it.
You want to get away from sharp objects in that particular
100%.
situation.
Yeah, I've got a lot of music I want to put out before my last breath comes.
Well, I'm intrigued to see how that translates to song. I'm looking forward to hearing that. Before you guys get back on stage, your band that we've got here, we've got Josh and Luke. Where are they? They're down the back of the crowd. Let's get the boys to come up the front for a second. Both of them. You give them a round of applause as they come down. And check out, would you look at that jacket? I mean, there's jackets and then there's jackets, right? Now, boys, I brought you down the front because I said to Trent, tell me some funny stories about Backstage. Ironically, you didn't tell me when you were kidnapped by a lady and had to escape to save your life. I thought that would have made a pretty good story in that situation. But you did say that Josh jammed with Toto.
Yeah, 100%. The mighty Josh Gallagher.
Mate, you got to run us through the story. How did you end up in the same room as Toto? You take the mic.
Long story short.
You were kidnapped by Toto in a car.
Yeah, Steve Lucas had kidnapped me. So I play in a band in Canada with a guy called Jacob DeRaps. And we've been working on YouTube for a while. And we've got a mutual friend called Robert Knight, who's like this legendary rock photographer who's done Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, he's all of it. So I tell him that, I'm going to go meet Toto. And he's like, I'm friends with Steve Lukather. And so I was like, all right. That's cool.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that's great. And he's like, say hi to him for me. And anyway, I get to the VIP and I walk up to them. I'm like, hey, my name's Josh. I'm from Perth. And he's like, oh yeah, Josh from Perth, Australia and everything. And I'm like, what?
How do you know that?
Flipping out. And so I asked him, I was like, if we can make it to soundcheck. This is the first time I was meeting the guys in Canada.
Yeah.
I was like, if we can make it to the soundcheck in the Montreal show, can we jam with you? And he's like, all right, cool.
That's awesome. And so what do you jam that? Like, do you jam a Toto song or do you?
Yeah, we did Rosanna.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a huge diehard Toto fan.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And he was cool because I think Steve Lukather seems like the kind of guy who would be down for pretty much anything.
Yeah, awesome guy,
Yeah.
guy. So we went up on stage, jammed the song, we was tripping out, and then we got our backstage passes after the show to hang out with the band.
How cool is that?
And I was just tripping, just a crazy experience.
Josh jamming with Toto. How cool is that, everybody? And Luke, I'm going to ask you the same question. You played on stage with the one and only, the boss, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. I mean, that's also equally as crazy. So you got to run us through that story.
It's not as good as Josh's, but So what happened first? I was kidnapped. No, I just happened to be like this 18-year-old kid that happened to just be at a Bruce gig and played my cards right, took the sign to the gig and. Yeah, Bruce pulled it up and...
Sign that said what?
A sign that said, can I dance with Sister Susie? So Susie's the violin player. Mm-hmm. I thought, being this, like this fella in the crowd, I don't think I'm Courtney Cox enough.
Yeah.
On stage. So, I had to try and find another way, and so I did, and bought myself a bit of time, got the acoustic guitar, whether it was on or not, who knows?
Doesn't
But
matter.
It doesn't matter. You know, live to tell the tale, and yeah, no, it was pretty cool.
That's very cool. Have you guys got any like video or footage evidence of this?
Yeah.
Not that I don't believe you.
And I'll go.
Okay, all right, good. I'm glad. The boys from the band, everybody, give them a round of applause. Sharing the stage with superstars and now Trent-Jean as well. So you guys are going to get back up. We are back into it, season 7 on the scene. We're going to take a very short break here on Foxtel and on YouTube. We're going to be back in just a moment with Trent-Jean and Before I Die, season 7 of the scene. Back in a moment. Thank you.
Trent-Jean, everybody. The scene live on Foxtel. Take care with Blake Williams.
Trent-Jean, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
pleasure.
Fantastic job, fantastic job. This is The Scene right around the country on Foxtel, channel 173. We'll catch you next week. And a big thanks to our mates at Atomic Beer as well for helping us out on the entire season 7 of The Scene. Next week, it's about country pop from right here in Perth with Claudia Tripp. We'll see you then. This is The Scene. Thank you very much. Good night.